Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Humor Mill. This is where we do interviews, give you exclusive things, that kind of stuff. Anyway, I'm your host, Frank Holder. Today we have a special interview. We're getting ready to interview the one and the only comedian known as Howie Bell, one of Detroit's finest. Howie, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing just fine, Frank Holder. How you doing, good brother? Good to see
I'm
you,
doing
man. On
it's
this exclusive interview. Yes.
yes. Yes, you know how we do. We gotta do exclusive stuff, man. That's how we
Absolutely.
So, first of all, thank you for taking the time and being with us, man. We greatly appreciate that, man. I can't say it enough. I know how time is now, especially with new family. Well, your family's not new, so to speak. Like, you didn't just get married, but you know what I mean.
Right.
Family,
Yeah.
balancing family in Hollywood, things like that. But let's go back because I know you got a movie we want to talk about and everything else. But let's go back and let's jump into it first, man. How did Howie Bell, the comedian who's been an underground comedian for a minute, how did Howie Bell decide that he wanted to do comedy? How'd that come about?
Uh Frank, man, I started off doing plays, actually.
Mhm.
So, black stage plays like Zoom Man in the Sign and Raisin in the Sun and all that kind of stuff, man. Even, I did musicals too, man. I did Jesus Christ Superstar. For those that know about that, Andrew Lloyd Webber. So I've been around, man, in the theater part first. But my family, my brother Greg Shelton, rest in heaven. He
Mhm.
was a producer, for the Image Awards. He wrote for the Jamie Foxx show. He worked very close with Marcus King and Jamie Foxx as well. You know what I'm saying? And he just, he was one of the guys. And my other brother Tony Roney, who is a stand-up comedian who actually gave me my first time on stage. So I got to contribute to those guys, really for the early days of me getting on stage and doing comedy, but I was already doing stage plays. So I was kind of, they were like, oh man, you could do comedy. And little did I know. You know what I'm saying? Getting into comedy, I was absolutely horrible when I first started. So,
Right, right, right,
but
right, right.
went on to, now here we are. And I was back in, when I first started doing comedy, that was 1995. So,
Yeah, man, your family gatherings around Thanksgiving and Christmas must have been hilarious with all that
the
comedy and
best. Yeah,
yeah,
man, the best.
yeah, I
Still
can
are. Still
yeah,
are.
I can listen. I can only imagine, man. I can imagine. I remember when your brother, God rest his soul, man, when he came up to me and he first told me about you. I remember that year, like that was year about 2004, 2005. He was
Yeah, we
like,
go a long way, man.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. He told me about you and everything. I was like, all right, G, let's see what he got. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah,
remember when I
man.
first saw you in the comedy store. I remember that, man. And so it was great, man. I thought that you definitely had potential. I still think that, Hollywood is like 10, 15 years late, but you know how that goes, bro. You know how that goes.
And I'm gonna
So
be honest with you, man. So while we early in the interview, I used to be so like Frank, man. I don't know you. I was in your ear so hard, man. Put me on a Humor Mill, man. Put me in the Humor Mill magazine. I was on you so hard about it because I believed in myself, and that's why I tell the young comedians, man, believe in yourself, man.
yeah,
Even though back then you were still putting on the A-list, like you was doing big things, and you still are. And when you were doing that stuff, man, I didn't realize I just wasn't ready. You know what I'm saying? Or wasn't, ready for until now. Look at this now. And then we're doing something now. So yes, it takes time, man, for people to, come to fruition, even with yourself, though. As an artist, you got to come together, man, for people to say, okay, there he is. We got him.
right, right. And now, if you could, step in the time machine, I love to ask this question too. The comics who have matured in their comedy careers over a time
Yeah,
period, and they
sure.
get some bump in the thing. So I'm gonna ask you the question that I asked everybody else. I mean, if you could jump in a time machine and you had literally 2 minutes, 2 minutes, and you could jump into Howie Bell and say, Howie, this is me coming from the future to tell you. What would you tell your younger self as you started out in comedy? What would you say?
I would tell my younger self, man, to take your time. I remember I rushed a lot and
Hmm.
I was trying to do things before I could really do them. You know what I'm saying? And I took a New Year's Eve gig, man, after my first time doing, BET Comedy View, and I was terrible.
Hmm.
I was supposed to do 45 minutes. After about 16 minutes, I was done. So I had to go and I really
Yeah,
improv and do all kind of stuff just to kill time. And I think I only made it to about 37 minutes.
yeah.
So my thing is that take your time, develop yourself, don't rush. I'll tell my young comic self, don't rush, man. Get yourself together before you take them gigs, man. Before you feel like you're ready, get it together.
Yeah, but you hit comic view stages, you hit Bad
Yeah,
Boys,
sure.
like you hit a lot of those things, man. Were you impressed early on by that, or were you saying like, my time is right? Like, how did you react after you did them all, and then saw, okay, now what? How'd you react?
So I did BET Comic View a total of 6 times.
Yep.
Um, Early on, I did it 4 in a row.
Hmm.
So it was, I still wasn't ready though to headline like I thought I was. And, that's television. I was good for doing 8 to 10, 12 minutes, maybe 15,
Hmm.
and coming up with a new set and doing another 8 to 12 to 15. But I didn't know how to do that in a live performance in front of people in real time as a headliner.
Hmm.
And that is what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like I took it as I'm not ready.
Hmm.
Even though I was like, ooh, I'm getting some gigs, I'm getting booked, I still wasn't ready. And so it took me some time to kind of develop myself and say, man, you got to come up with some material.
Hmm.
You got to do some time, bro. You out here, man, do some time.
Hmm.
So it took me, and every comedian is different, every performer is different.
Right.
So, everybody not the same. But it just took me years, what I'm saying, to develop that skill set to say, hey, man, you have to know how to stay up here and engage with these people and be able to keep their attention and be funny for at least 45 to an hour. You have to figure that out.
Right. Were you getting some advice from other comics? Were they coming
Sure.
to you? Yeah.
Absolutely, I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the
But you
best
know
advice?
what? They can tell you everything in the world, Frank, but it don't matter. You got to get on stage, man.
I
It
know.
don't even matter. They can tell you A to Z. I mean, you can take some pointers and you can say, all right, all right. It really don't matter, man, because once you're up there, you're up there by yourself. They're not with you.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got to do that for you and for them, that audience, and that's what you got to do, man.
Yeah.
It's learning on comedy is the only thing I know that is real life learning on the job.
Yeah. 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 I think it even supersedes theater, but I'm not a
It
comic.
does. It
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. So now let's fast forward. You're finally in a film, which I think you should have been in a while ago. I think you should have been on television through your sitcom, but that's another story for another day. You're
Yeah.
finally in a film called Unexpected Christmas. Can you tell everybody how that came about and what's it about?
So well, let me say this first. I've been in a few films.
Yeah, you have.
I've been doing films for the last 25 years. Well,
But
really, since I started.
let me rephrase that,
Yeah.
Howard. You're
Yeah.
featured in Unexpected Christmas
Right.
wholeheartedly. That's what I should have said. But go
Yeah.
ahead. Okay.
Yeah, and no, but no, you're absolutely correct though, in the sense that, but I've never been on a film on this level,
Right.
and that's been promoted on this level. I've been some really good projects, really good ones though, like Gangster Rap, the Glockumentary, Holly Won't. You go back and look at some of those movies, man. I'm really good. I'm proud of those movies. Some movies I'm not so proud of, but I did some really good projects. But Unexpected Christmas came about because Lil Rel basically came to me and said, "Hey, man, I think this is something that I think you can do." And when he came to me and said that, I was like, "Bro, what's up?" He sent me
Mhm.
the script. I read over it. I put it on camera because I was here in Detroit. Put it on camera, and when I put it on camera, he was like, "Man, you already got the part. We're doing the table read tomorrow." And so he really walked me into it. Just wanted to see what I was going to do, which is really dope. I mean, he just wanted to see me walk through the process.
Mhm.
But I got to give Lil Rel the credit for everything because he's the one that basically walked me into this project. And to be amongst some of the stars that's in this movie is Tabitha Brown and Rico and
Mhm.
it's just a lot of people in this movie and Anne Marie Horsford and just a lot of people in this film that and I'm leaving some people out and I hate to do that, but I promise you it's one of the best projects that I've worked with some professionals where I felt like I'm at the bottom of the totem pole,
Mhm.
and it humbles you as an artist and it makes you say, hey man, let's get focused. Just watching what they're doing, and you put your thing on it too. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? So I put my thing on it too.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I was humble enough to look at them and say, hey, all right, this is how you want to look at this scene, look at this from this angle and all that kind of stuff. So
Mhm.
Unexpected Christmas came about, like I said, from Lil Rel, and it's coming out November 7th. But I promise you, one of the best projects I've ever worked with, and the very first theatrical release that
So
I've ever been a part of.
tell everybody out there what it's about.
So, yeah, without giving it away,
Right.
it's unexpected Christmas. So there's Lil Rel playing the character, what I'm saying, coming in and he's coming to our family,
Mhm.
which is my family, and he's coming to visit. He doesn't realize that his girlfriend is his girlfriend is the sister, you know what I'm saying, in the family. So it gets kind of twisted up, and
Mhm.
it's a lot going on with that. And they come and they have to have dinner together and all this stuff. And of course, Christmas and all that stuff. It's an amazing story without giving it all the way away. But I also have a girlfriend too. You know what I'm saying? And there's
Yeah,
some
yeah,
things going on with that.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
they
how
gave
they
me
do. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, they
yeah,
messed around,
yeah,
and gave me a woman. And
yeah.
my woman turns out to be something unexpected as well. So it's a really good story, Unexpected Christmas. I think it's going to be a Christmas classic if you really want to know about it. And shouts out to Phil Thornton, man. You know, one of the producers, but actually top producer. And I swear I hate mentioning names because when you don't know everybody's name, it makes it like that. But, you know, and Tabitha Brown and Lil Rel were actually producers as well. So,
Mhm.
but it was others that I'm not mentioning, but absolutely incredible, Frank. You know,
Yeah.
absolutely great movie. I think that this is one of those ones that's going to go down, you know, as a Christmas classic
Okay.
instantly.
Okay, yeah. First of all, congratulations on all of that. But sitting back, looking at it from outside in, is it possible that this could be what you were waiting on, that break to get you into the mainstream Hollywood, so you can get other? Because you know Hollywood looks for the black male comic person
Sure.
all the time. You know what they do? They just do. You think this could be the film to help you break down those doors?
I hope it does. I've been doing this a long time, man, and to
Mhm.
be very candid with you, I hope it does. You know, man, I've been working them bars and them clubs for a long time, man.
Yeah.
And you know, it will be good to at least work on some projects, you know what I'm saying, that will at least let people see my skill set, you know where I'm coming from and you know all that kind of jazz and you know from a different angle too and from a different aspect other than stand up, but also opening the doors for bigger platforms for me to do stand up on. So, yes, I'm looking for this to at least do something. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. Right.
Where it can
Right.
contribute to the hard work, man, that I've been putting in. A lot of people don't understand. I've been on Greyhounds and walking and buses and trains and you know just a lot, man. Sleeping on people's couches and you know what I'm saying. I like for a lot of years. I've been doing. People like Howie Bell, you working? Like yeah, if you only knew.
Yeah. 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 I believe me. I know. I
Just to
know.
go get them peanuts. You know what I'm saying, Frank? So
Yeah.
it's a blessing, like I said, to be a part of that. And one more time, shouts out to Lil Rel for even giving me the opportunity to be a part of something bigger than
Mhm.
what I've been a part of.
What's
And
your
so,
star? What's your star project that you really want to do? Like, what's something that, because everybody has an idea. Like Rel, one of the things, like when I've been Rel and I with and these having conversations, he always told me he wanted to do a festival. He ended up doing his festival. Like,
you
what's your
did.
project that you have that you want to do?
And you know, it's funny. I did a festival before. I did the Super Comedy Week in Detroit,
Oh,
and
okay.
that was during the Super Bowl in Detroit. Yeah, absolutely. And I
Hmm.
did a whole week, and it was sponsored by the Super Bowl host committee. And so I did an official event. I've done some of these big things, man, in my career. Like you said, it just never came to fruition. I've always been at the bad side of it. You know, the pandemic came and boom.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
something
yeah.
else happened and boom, how we built it. So I've always been like right there and I think that my fan base appreciates that, and people that really follow me like that really appreciate because they're like, man, you still around.
Hmm.
So when you say what project I think would be the
That you
thing
want
or
to do.
what that would do, you
That
know,
you
Frank,
want
man, at this
to.
point in my career,
Hmm.
it's a whatever God puts in front of me, man.
Okay. All right. Okay. Because I know everybody has something. You know what I mean? Like
It
me, I have
doesn't
a
matter
couple of things.
because you know everything I do from is going to be awesome anyway. It doesn't matter. So everything is good. You know what I'm saying? It's no one thing that I could say in particular that I say I really want to do this. It's not one thing I could say in particular. But the only thing I would say, I'm a big, huge fan of Robin Harris, and I would love to get the opportunity at least audition for the Robin Harris story.
I knew there was something, Howie. I knew there was something. I knew there was something. And you could play that part because you do favor Robert Harris. Like that would be fun.
I love him to death. He's one of the comedians that I've studied for a long time, even before I thought about comedy. I didn't even know comedy was a business.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been listening to it for a long time. And I think that, you know, that's a guy that if I had it, you know, at least audition, you know, for, you know, to do his story, man, that would be awesome. You know what I'm
So
saying?
are you saying that there's word out there that it's coming? You know that's what they're doing. Are you
Well,
saying
well, that's not what they're doing. I'm putting that out in the universe.
that's
But
how you
believe
do
me,
it?
me and my brother Tony Roney, we've talked about this for years though. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's great to hear that. All right, so Howie, before you roll up out of here, man, tell us what you got going on. We know Unexpected Christmas is coming out. Can you tell us the date when it comes out? When does it hit theaters and all that stuff?
So Unexpected Christmas is hitting theaters November 7th.
Okay.
November 7th across the country. Yep. So it will be in theaters across the country. So that's a pretty good big deal. And but yeah, man, outside of that, I'm ongoing doing a comedy show every month.
Mm-hmm.
144 Bleecker Street, man. That's my spot. Smack Village, the Legacy Club. And I mean, they're the best. You know what I'm saying? That's my people. Roland and Patricia. Every month we do the comedy show, the Howie Bell and Friends. And yeah,
Yeah,
man. So,
that's
you
good.
know,
That's good. That's perfect, bro. So how can we follow you? How can we find? How can we stay in touch? Stay in contact? What's your socials, bro?
all right, now I don't want to leave this out too. October 30th, excuse me, October 31st, Halloween. I'm going to be in South Carolina at my alma mater, Benedict College in Columbia, South Carolina, HBCU. You know what I'm saying? And root to the Qs. Want to
Mm-hmm.
say that too. And we all going to be there for the comedy show, Howie Bell and Friends with K Dub and Coco Brown. That
Okay.
show is going to be incredible. So I did want to say that. But you can also follow me, like you said, Frank, man, on Howie Bizzell, HOWIE BIZZELL, or just put in Howie Bell in the search bar, man. You know how I go, brother.
I do. I do. I do. I hope Sigmas are allowed, man. I hope Sigmas are invited too.
Sigmas are allowed. One of my best friends, his name is Daryl Scott from
Mhm.
Detroit. He's a Sigma, and he's actually helping me produce the comedy show that we're doing. So let's talk about that. You see what I'm saying?
There you
See,
go.
you
There you go.
underestimated your brother. You didn't even know about that,
See,
brother.
that's what I'm trying to say. How?
And my whole crew is made up of different people from the Divine Nine. We used to call it the Great Eight back in the day, but it's the Divine Nine now. But yeah, man, all my people, Kappas, Sigmas, Alphas, AKAs, Zetas, Deltas, Gamma
Everybody.
Rhos, you name it, man. Delta. We do this. This is what we do.
Everybody. Everybody. Well, Howie
HBCU,
Bell,
baby.
thank you very much for taking the time, man. We greatly appreciate it, man. Continued success. Unexpected Christmas is coming out November 7th. If y'all sitting at home watching it, Howie Bell, I've been hearing is the comic relief. I'm supposed to hit the red carpet. Was it in a couple of weeks to check it out myself? So again, thank you, Howie. We appreciate you, man.
Man, I appreciate you, Frank. It took 27 years to make this happen, but I finally got on Humor Mill Magazine.
Well, yeah, it did. It did. It did. It's about that. It's about that. It's
Love
about
you,
that.
brother. Appreciate you, man.